Should Netflix get into microdramas? So, for any of you who have been on TikTok recently, you've seen commercials or advertisements for Pine Drama, which is the sister app for TikTok, which is basically TikTok for microdramas. Microdramas are basically fully produced, funded shows that are shot vertically for people to experience on, in a swipe format. And they're real small snippets, and you see the snippets at a time. It was popular in China and in Asia first, and it's made its way on over to America, of course. So, should Netflix, who primarily deals with making produced shows, get into this new and lucrative factor of business? Could be yes, could be no. Let's look at some of the reasons why they should. So, some of the business axioms that are super important that I apply to my own business and that everyone should apply to their own as well is first, number one, better before cheaper. Netflix has gotten a little stale in terms of they are a one-trick pony. They just license shows or they make shows and they produce shows and then people subscribe to be able to watch them. Now, does that need to change? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Of course not. But they have been looking to expand their offerings. And they want to make their subscription service better before making it cheaper. If you have noticed, they've raised their prices each year, but this is what justifies it. So they raised it because they started introducing gaming onto their app. They also raised it because just the cost of doing business has gone up, just as everything goes up each year. But by getting into microdramas, they would be able to raise their prices yet again by making their service better before making it cheaper. So, does getting into microdramas make Netflix a better competitor against their competition? The answer is yes. So, we got one. Reason number two, revenue before cost. So, microdramas is obviously something that's relatively new. They haven't really existed before TikTok, and TikTok is only a few years old. And by getting into microdramas, they're going to be able to increase their revenue before decreasing their cost. So increasing their revenue stream. They'll be able to charge more. They'll be able to charge it as an add-on, right? So let's say you're not someone who's interested in microdramas. Maybe they have a microdrama add-on for $3 or $4 a month on top of the regular service. Spotify already does this with audiobooks. I pay for the regular Spotify where I don't get ads, but I'm able to stream all the music possibly in the history of the world. And as an add-on, I do listen to audiobooks, but I don't pay for the add-on, which is I get a certain amount of minutes. Usually it's like one book. And then if I want to listen to more than that, I need to pay. They can do a very similar structure with microdramas, where they can do an add-on for microdramas or for people, even for the gaming, maybe a gaming and microdrama add-on for an extra $3 or $4 a month, and that should be able to cover the costs to increase their revenue and get more people interested in their service. 3, respond to demand. So as we were saying at the beginning, this is actually quite popular. There's been proven multi-billion-dollar businesses already that were just in other markets, and Netflix can bring it to the Western world. Netflix is a global company, so they can bring it to other markets. They can make ones that are specific to certain markets. So in terms of competition, like who's making microdramas within Bollywood? Because Bollywood in India is a huge industry. They love making over-the-top entertainment movies and shows over there. And so that's something that Netflix can get into, right? So I think responding to demand, check. Right, so here's a third reason why I think Netflix should get into microdramas. 4, adapt to a changing market. So again, tastes are changing, people are changing. And for the longest time when I grew up, we had cable television and people would sit at 8 o'clock at night to watch Disney movies or Disney channels or your show that came on at Wednesday at 8 each and every time. Netflix changed the game by releasing the entire season of a show at once and letting you binge it, right? Well, we're adapting to changing markets again, and people are very much into just short snippets of user-generated content, and even entertainment and what people are watching has been following that trend. And so microdramas has worked, and since we already know it works, then Netflix, who literally is in that industry already, produced shows and then letting people watch them by paying a subscription. It's the same exact business model. They should just get into it. So they're going to adopt to changing market demands, right? A good example of why this is a good idea is I watch Peacock because I watch Love Island. And on Peacock, I've already seen microdramas starting to pop up as things that they can watch. And because people are interested and they want to see their show and they want to see their microdrama, then people are going to subscribe. Just the same way, I want to see Love Island, so I subscribe to Peacock. And then lastly, low risk, high reward. Obviously, their exclusives are things that they pay to produce. So Ozark is a good one. It's one of my favorite shows on Netflix that they've had. Also, House of Cards was really good. So these are shows that are specifically on Netflix because Netflix are the ones who greenlit them. They're the ones who paid for the production. They're the ones who greenlit the show to happen and filming and put the investment and put up the money for it to be filmed. But with microdramas being still tested, first of all, even if you want to do that, microdramas are much less costly to film. It's $100,000, which is nothing to Netflix because they make billions of dollars, right? So it's already a low risk, high reward opportunity because the cost of making this type of content is very low. But the fact that there's not that many people in the market yet, competition wise, lets them be the ones who's going to have the best options. Now, another option they can do is they can just license the winners because they already do licensing. They have the Hunger Games on there right now, but it's not like they produced it. They're just licensing it so that they have it exclusively. So anyone who wants to watch the Hunger Games is going to pay for their subscription because they're the only ones who have it at this current moment in time. So they can license winners. So because there are other Pine Drama and TikTok and whatever, and they have access to all the data from all the different countries, they can see what shows are performing the best in different countries or in whatever country, and they can license those to be able to display it there. So a good example is, this is just how entertainment works, but America's Next Top Model started in America, but then they licensed the show so that they had different versions of the show per country. So they had Germany's Next Top Model, they had Australia's Next Top Model, whatever. You got my point. You could take a microdrama show from India and license it to bring it to America, or you can license it to be showing it to India within the Netflix platform, and so on and so forth. They do this with content now too, which is another generous strategy, where I forgot his name, Anthropus or something like that, where he started and he just did interviews online on YouTube, and Netflix said, don't put it on YouTube, put it on our platform, on Netflix, and we will pay you. And so he makes a lot of money through his deal with Netflix now. So instead of it being on YouTube, his podcast is exclusively shown on Netflix. And if people want to watch the show, they have to subscribe to Netflix. So again, licensing is a huge play here. And so I think just overall, the fact that they can get a whole new customer base at such a low risk opportunity is exactly why they should get into microdramas. The same way that they found that people with podcasts or video filmed podcasts, they can pay them to host their podcasts on Netflix and people will subscribe to Netflix to be able to see that. They can do the same thing with microdramas. Microdramas are very cheap to produce. If you want to go over the producing route, I'm sure they're cheap to license because they're cheap to produce, even though they make tons of money. And so the opportunity here is just low risk, high reward. Definitely do it. Is this business move Demilo approved? The answer is yes. Check out Demilo courses so you can learn everything you need to know about business strategy, business moves, my different tenets of how I decide what business decisions are a good idea and what are a bad idea. I have that as available as a free download. I'll put that in the description. And other than that, I will catch you guys on the next upload.